I would want to just very quickly take you through what are the tapping, what are the tapping points, what are the steps to tapping, so that we can all start tapping in next few minutes simultaneously. Okay? All right. And okay. So number one, what are the steps? There are 5 basic steps to tapping. Okay, the first step is that we need to identify the issue for which we are tapping. Okay, now why is it important for us to identify the issue? Because we need to know what we are trying to heal ourselves of. So that issue can be stress at work, anxiety for a meeting that is coming up, or maybe some hurt that we have deep within, whatever. Or we can have, for example, I can tap for a shoulder ache that I have currently in my body. So we need to identify the issue. The second step to the tapping is that we observe what is the intensity of this technique, of this issue. So if I say that I have a pain in my shoulder, that pain can be extreme, intense pain, and I can rate it 10. 10 would be the highest, maximum, the worst pain it can be. Or I will say, no, it's a little tolerable for me. So it can be, I can rate it at 5. So we will all personally take our issues and we will rate our issues at the beginning of the set, at the beginning of the tapping. Okay. Now the third point, which is a very, very important point in this entire sequence of things, is that we are setting up a statement. Now, what is that statement? If I am tapping for my shoulder ache, I will, please read this, I will be saying, even though I have this shoulder ache in my body, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And situations can change. So if you are tapping for, say, an anxiety issue or a headache, what you will be saying is, even though I have this headache in my or migraine, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Similarly, if somebody has any anxiety, I can mention, even though I have this anxiety about tomorrow's meeting, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So friends, what is changing here is only the issue that you're going to state. Otherwise, your statement remains this particular statement. Okay, you can tweak it around a little bit, but essentially this works for all the situations. Okay, and what we do next is, of course, the actual tapping. And from tapping, then next once we are done with the tapping, what we will be doing is we will be again rating the intensity of the issue. So once I have done 3 cycles of tapping, I will try to observe, has my shoulder ache gone down? Has it become better? No? Yes? And then we can again perhaps start tapping. Okay? Now I would want all of you to please see this, and maybe if you would want to make notes, you can make notes. Otherwise, it is completely fine. The first point that we start with is it's called the karate chop point. Okay? If any one of you have been involved in martial arts, we know that we have this chop point called the karate chop point. Okay? So the first point that we will be tapping upon will be this particular part, and see, either sides of the body is okay. As I have mentioned here, You can either or both sides of the body can be tapped. So you can tap like this, you can tap like this, you can tap like this, the right, the left, or both hands like, okay? And while we are tapping the karate chop point, we will be saying out the setup statement. What is the setup statement? Setup statement is, even though I have this da 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 da, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So once again, even though I have this, I'm just showing it to you, and we will be all doing it together in next 3 to 4 minutes. So you can just watch me for the first time. Even though I have this shoulder ache, which is causing discomfort to me, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I said the statement once again. Even though I have this shoulder ache, which is causing discomfort, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And you can say it out aloud, or you can say it within yourself. And this is the second time, and we have to repeat it 3 times. The setup statement at the karate chop point thrice. Even though I have this shoulder ache, it's causing me discomfort, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. All right, this is point number 1. From here, we come to the eyebrow point. Now, eyebrow point, if you can see it in the chart also, which I have shown the image, it's the beginning of our eyebrows, okay? So you can either tap both the eyebrows, or you can just tap one, right or left, either of the hand, both the hands. There's ample freedom in EFT, okay? And then we tap a couple of times, maybe 4-5 times. And now what do we say? We just mention the issue. We don't say the entire setup statement. We just say, oh, this shoulder ache. And then we trace to the side of the eyebrow, not here, the side of this bone, okay? Very gently, 5 to 6 times, this shoulder ache that I'm having. Point number 4, come to the bottom of the eye, this shoulder ache that I have. From here, I trace my fingers to below the nose, under the nose. You can do it like this. This shoulder ache. And mind you, you have to do it very gently. Do not do it very hard. Coming to the chin, the middle of the chin. The shoulder ache. And from here, we come from the middle of the chin, we come to the beginning of the collarbone. Now, where our collarbones start, there is a very soft point. As you can see it in the graph as well. But we don't really have to be exact there. So what we can do is we can just gently tap ourselves like this, or we can tap ourselves like this, or just like this. It's completely fine. This shoulder ache that I have, and I can already feel that my ache is really gone. This shoulder ache. Tapping 5 to 6 times. And from here, I come to the underarm point. Now friends, underarm point is approximately 4 inches or 4 fingers under your armpit. Or it's a soft point which hurts us as well sometimes, okay? So here we can just take our fingers, or just take your flat hand, start tapping this shoulder ache that I have. You can open your eyes, you can just close your eyes, whatever comes naturally to you. And the last, also called the monkey position. top of the head. You can do it with both the hands, just one hand. The center of the head here, very, very lightly. Oh, the shoulder ache. Take a deep breath and release. And now I'm rating how I'm feeling. And honestly, I don't have any shoulder ache just now. It's really, really gone. And your intensity can be, if you started at 10, it can come to a 5 or a 6, and we can start tapping all over again. Yes? So the idea is to just flow very, very freely with these points, not to go very, very rigid, and just take it, as it's coming to you. Just follow the flow, because that flow will really, really help if we are following this ascending flow and the descending flow. Yes? So, and before we start, I want all of us to have our issue, one particular issue, have it in your mind, or you can write it down on a piece of paper. It can be anything, as I stated. It can be your body ailment, some ache, some trauma that you are going through, which you would want to release. And if you feel like crying, if you feel like shedding a tear, please go ahead. It's important that we release, because this session is all about releasing. Okay? So before we begin, I would invite all of you to have a sip of water, maybe 2 sips of water, taking just a few deep breaths in. Take a moment to identify your issue. And now I'm inviting all of you to form up your setup statement. The setup statement, even though I have whatever that issue is, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. If it's easier for you, you can all write it down as well and read it from there on. And once we have written our setup statement, all right, so let's start with the karate chop point. Tapping. You can have your eyes gently closed. Even though I have this issue, just bringing me great discomfort, pain, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Take a deep breath, saying the setup statement once again. Even though I have this issue which is causing me discomfort, pain, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I have this issue which is causing me discomfort, pain. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And now coming to the eyebrow point. This issue of mine, just stating that issue right now, whatever it is. Tapping gently. Keep deep breathing. And now tracing your fingers to the side of the eye, making sure it's at the bone point. Address that issue. Bottom of the eye. Oh, this issue of mine. This discomfort. Come to the nose, below the nose. This issue that is disturbing me. Under the chin. This issue. Come to the collarbone. This discomfort. Under the armpit, gently tapping. This issue that's troubling me. Coming to the top of the head, gently tapping to the center. Both hands, just one single finger. This issue of mine. Deep breathe and release. I invite you very simply look within and see what is the intensity. Has it reduced? Has it gone up? We can just jot down how or what is the scale of the intensity. What is the intensity of our issue at this point of time? Has it decreased? Has it gone marginally less? And then we can keep repeating this tapping till it comes to a point of 1 or to a point of 0. So, and if I may, I would just want to show how and why tapping works. Now, tapping works if for people who might say that, listen, I don't believe in energy meridians or I don't believe in the energy system. There are scientific studies that are being done that have proven the efficacy and the effectiveness of EFT. So much so that the US military uses EFT for soldiers, for the people who are suffering from post-trauma syndrome, PTSD, soldiers who've come back from war and who are into a deep state of depression. So tapping has really helped them out. What tapping is doing to your body is actually bringing your cortisol levels down. What is cortisol? Cortisol is actually a hormone which helps you fight stressful situations. In the olden days, the stressful situations were if a tiger was coming to attack you. okay, prehistoric times. But today, what are the stressful situations? That is when you, and what cortisol does it really gears up your body system to fight or flight, to run away, which also requires adrenaline, or to fight, which also requires adrenaline. That is what cortisol would do. However, in the present stressful situations, we don't really need our physical body to be coming into that kind of a state. But our mind does not know the distinction between the emotional stresses or the physical danger or the threat that we face. So our body starts going into that turmoil, okay, of that situation, and we're not able to control ourselves. We're not able to calm ourselves down. So when we are tapping our the hotspots, the energy hotspots in our body, we are telling our cortisol, we are telling our amygdala to just calm down, that the situation is under control. So this is how, my friends, EFT or the tapping technique helps us. It brings us to a state of an original state or the natural state of equilibrium. And this is a tool which is ready for us, with us anytime. You can teach it to your friends today itself once you go home, or once you're back in your office doing your work. So, this is a beautiful, beautiful technique. Do not get disillusioned by the simplicity of it, because it works, and it works amazingly well. So if meditation doesn't work for you, if you're not able to find time, just tap, 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 tap. You can find one point that works for you, and you can start tapping on that point.